Hey guys, it's Janixa and welcome to another nail lacquer therapy session. Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about the new China Glaze Mystic Bloom Spring 2022 collection. I have been waiting for this collection ever since the photos were teased on Instagram, and this was not a letdown at all. You guys, this is such a great collection. China Glaze is very quickly becoming one of my top mainstream brands. You guys, I just love this collection. I think it is probably the best spring collection that we have seen so far. We're still waiting on Zoya to see if they're going to release anything for spring 2022, but so far, in my opinion, China Glaze wins the Best Spring 2022 Collection award. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the swatches so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Alright, first up we have Planted and Enchanted. I like the names in this collection, they're just really fun. You guys, when I first swiped this on my nail, I was so surprised. This is very opaque. I honestly thought that this was going to be one of those really sheer colors that you needed to build up in 3 coats, but it is absolutely not. It is very opaque. I don't think you can quite get it completely opaque in 1 coat, simply because there was a couple of dark spots, which I'm sure you can see on my pointer finger there. But honestly, with time, I believe that you can definitely get this opaque in just 1 coat. It is so beautiful, you guys. It has like a blue shift in there. I just cannot get over how much I love this collection. I truly appreciate how much China Glaze, steps out of the box for us. They give us something different with each collection. It's not just a bunch of creams, minus last year's fall collection. But even in that collection, they gave us the typical fall colors that we all want, even though we all have probably 10 bottles of each of those colors in our collection already. It doesn't matter. Anytime a specific season comes around, we want, whatever color matches that season. I really loved this polish, and it was completely opaque for me in just 2 easy coats. Had to be careful not to flood my cuticles. China Glaze's brush tends to hold on to a lot of polish, but wow, this one was amazing. Next up we have Mystic Dawn, and this one seems to have a purple bluish shift to it. Honestly, you guys, if I had to tell you which one to probably stay away from in this collection, it would probably be this one. It is extremely sheer in the first roughly 2 coats. As you can see here, it just looks like my nails have a nice gloss over them, but you can still clearly see my entire nail. So it builds up decently. I don't mind it. Surprisingly, I'm usually not a fan of sheer colors, but with this one, I really don't mind it at all. But again, if you can't buy the whole collection, this one you can definitely pass on, and I don't think you'll feel like you're missing out on anything major. Throughout this swatch video, you might notice that I end up having to go back into the bottle a lot to wipe off polish. It's just something with China Glaze's brush. I think it's because the stem of the brush is so long, it just holds on to a lot of polish, and as you're painting your nails, what happens is that polish starts to drip down. So then you end up with a whole lot of polish on the brush when that's not what you intended at all. So in order to avoid flooding my cuticles, I constantly have to be wiping off the brush, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but for these kinds of finishes and collections, I'm okay with it. Next up we have Pretty As A Petal, and this one is actually a matte. I did not know this was a matte because I am currently swirling my bottle around in my hands to see if there's any indication here at all. Nothing on the label on the bottom, nothing at all that says that this is matte. So my advice to China Glaze is let's make the caps matte or the bottles matte. I've seen that they've done like a frosted bottle in the past. That would be really, really nice to just be able to differentiate what polish is matte and, you know, what polish is not. I will say that it does not dry really fast like other China Glaze matte polishes do, so you do have enough time to, you know, move the polish around where you want on your nail without having to worry about rushing, you know, in case it dries too quickly. So this dries decently at a decent speed, I would say. One thing to note here is you want to be careful with your brush strokes on the second coat because they will show it is matte, so it kind of highlights them a little bit more. So you want to be careful with your brush strokes here. I personally don't mind my brush strokes, so it's not something that I really care about, but I do know that a lot of you are not fans of seeing brush strokes in your finished manicure, so keep in mind that with this one you'll have to be careful on your second coat to get nice even brush strokes so that you have a pretty manicure to look at. This was 2 coats of Pretty as a Petal and it is absolutely perfect. Next up we have this one. The reason I say that is because I don't know how to pronounce this name, but there it is on the screen for you guys. And wow, you guys, this one is my favorite from this collection. I think because I do like the other one, so I think this one is my favorite. It is absolutely stunning, and it is another one that dries matte. It has purple and blue glitter, so there's like a blue shift, blue glitter kind of theme going around in these polishes because there's another polish that we're going to look at soon that has the same blue in it, and I love it, you guys. I am so pumped for this collection. I mean, do I think that we have similar shades? I don't know, maybe we do, but from a mainstream brand, definitely not. From an indie brand, possibly. Mainstream, nope. So this is why China Glaze has become my favorite mainstream brand. I mean, you guys have seen my Essie wall, and if you haven't, go back to my nail polish room tour and you will see all the Essies I have. I have over 1,000 Essies, but honestly, I think I reach for China Glaze way more because of all these amazing finishes. This one does dry matte, like I said, but it does not have the same brush stroke issue as the pink one does, so that is excellent. Next up, we have Secret Rendez-Blue. This one is another amazing polish. This is probably not super unique, again, in the indie world, but in the mainstream world, this is amazing, and it has another purple to bluish shift, and this one is probably the most sheer shade out of this collection. You will need definitely 2 coats, and I would even suggest a 3rd coat just to make the base color pop some more. I could have left this one in 2 coats, but honestly it just wasn't popping on my nails enough, so I definitely went in for that 3rd coat, and the transformation was just so beautiful. So some of you might be wondering how I got this collection so fast, because it's only just now popping up on some e-tailer sites, independent e-tailer sites, and so you know, I wouldn't have been able to get it that fast in the mail. I am actually really fortunate, really lucky, and I live 10 minutes away from Head to Toe Beauty, and they actually have a physical store for you to shop nail polish, and I consistently stalk their website to see when they have a new collection available. And as soon as I saw this one, I jumped in the car and went and purchased it and swatched it so that I could get it up for you guys ASAP. So yeah, that's how I am able to get a lot of collections up early for you guys, because I really do live close to a few large nail polish stores. Okay, you see here what I mean about the color really popping on that third coat? It just looks absolutely amazing, you guys. The glitter, I mean, this swatch doesn't even do it justice. It's just so amazing in person. I am in love. Next up we have Instant Sparks, and this one is the other nudish neutral color in the collection. And once again, if you can only grab a few from this collection, I'd say you can probably pass on this one too, and it's not, you know, that big of a deal. But I do like this one better than I liked, what's it called? The Mystic Dawn. So this one is definitely better than Mystic Dawn in my opinion. It isn't as sheer, even though it is sheer on that first coat, it isn't as sheer as Mystic Dawn. This one can be completely built up to full opacity in 2 to 3 coats, and it has a lot of glitter going on in here. It's really pretty. It kind of looks champagne-y, like, or a bubble bath too. I don't know, that's what I see when I see this polish. It's really, really gorgeous. And you see, even though I might not like everything that comes out in a collection, I still really do appreciate the fact that China Glaze is stepping out of the box and giving us, you know, just different stuff. I mean, we can't really find, whoops, I just dropped the bottle in case you guys heard that noise. You can't really find a lot of polishes with these kinds of finishes from SE and OPI and Orly. Even though I love those brands, I just love China Glaze more for the fact that they, you know, give us all these different kinds of finishes and just fun polishes. Next up we have Fairytale Bliss, and this is a pink that has like pink and gold glitter shimmer running throughout. I realize that I haven't mentioned too much about the formula on these polishes because I'm just going on and on about how much I like the collection and China Glaze. Sorry guys. But these formulas are all really, really good. I have no problem with them at all. I would let you know immediately if a formula was not good, but I don't have that problem here. Don't usually have that problem with China Glaze. Like I said, the only thing that's a little bit annoying is just how much polish their brush actually holds, to the point where you can flood your cuticles easily if you're not paying attention to you know, how much polish is actually going on your nail. So this one does go on a bit sheer on the first coat, but it does build up really nicely, and you get that same color pink that's in the bottle on your nails on that second coat. I feel like the gold glitter in there is a little bit harder to pick up on your nails, but you kind of have to move your hands around a little bit in different lighting to see it, but it's just really beautiful. I was worried that this pink was going to be one of those that just makes your nails look stained, because I absolutely hate shades like that, and I didn't want a dud in this collection, but thankfully that wasn't the case here. Alright, last but not least, we have Bloomphoria. And you guys, this one is just so gorgeous. This one definitely, you probably have a similar shade in your collection, but honestly, I still say that you need this one, because normally shades like this, you have to build them up in 3 coats because they are on the sheer side, so that we can still see that beautiful shimmer running throughout. But surprisingly, this one was great on me in just 2 coats, and I could hardly see my nail line at all. If you're extremely picky and you want to completely cover up your nail line, then I do suggest that 3rd coat. But honestly, I can be a little picky, and even for me on 2 coats, this one was great. Another note, if you were a fan of Kale Polish, which was Kathleen Light's former brand before she released Light's Lacquer, this one is similar to the popular shade Charmed from them. I'm looking at Charmed right now next to Bloomphoria, and Charmed does have a blue shift going through it, but the base colors are the same. So if you want something that reminds you of Kale Polish Charmed, I'd say this is a great option for you. Overall, this is an amazing, cohesive collection, and I want to see more like this from mainstream brands for spring, just to force them away from the usual pastels we get every single year. There you have it, guys. Swatches of the new China Glaze Mystic Bloom Spring 2022 collection. What did you think? I mean, did you like this as much as I did? I think that if I had to choose a least favorite or two least favorites, it would probably be the brown neutral colors. I think those kind of I could do without. I wouldn't be mad if they were not in the collection, but honestly, I enjoyed all of the polishes. They were just so much fun to work with, and it's always like a surprise when you swipe a polish on your nail and you don't know, especially with China Glaze, you don't know what finish it's gonna be. So we have two matte finishes, and as I was painting my nails, I was like, oh, it's matte. I do wish that China Glaze had an identifying, feature to let us know when something is matte. For example, a matte cap. That would be really great. But I will admit that it still is fun to, just be surprised and see what finish a polish is when you're actually painting your nails. Alright guys, let's talk about this in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you think that China Glaze's spring collection is probably one of the best for spring 2022? Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!